a jail nurse and doctor responsible for an in-custody death. Details in a live report.
Are there more homeless people living along the San Diego River? I'm Shanna Handy, coming up what new data shows.
It's quiet right now, but we do have a storm system, not one, but two that are moving in, bringing those rain chances high over the next few days.
Veterans transitioning out of the military put their carpentry skills to work for fellow veterans living at Wounded Warrior homes.
The 20th annual Puppy Bowl is right around the corner, and 3 of our own from the Helen Woodward Animal Center will be competing.
Inspired by a Harry Styles hit song, meet the Girl Scout passing out 1,000 bracelets of kindness.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts now.
Jail nurse and doctor responsible for Elisa Serna's death. That's the question a jury will have to answer as trial gets underway. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. Serna was pregnant when she died in custody in 2019. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes is following the story for us and was inside the courtroom today. She joins us live now with the details. Kirsten?
A jury of 10 women and 6 men, including 4 alternates, will decide if Dr. Frederic von Lintig and nurse Dana Lee Pascua are guilty of Elisa Serna's death behind bars back in 2019. The judge barred TV cameras and cell phones from inside the courtroom as day 1 of the trial began.
Every day it's a daily fight to, get the justice, that she needs.
Paloma Serna, Elisa's mom, says her 24-year-old daughter died a senseless death.
Elisa, she's a human being. She's nobody's trash to be treated like that and be tossed to the side or literally to the ground in a corner to die.
I hope that the media is given access to video, because what you actually see over the progression of days is a human being dying before your very eyes.
None of the attorneys connected to today's criminal case would talk on camera, but I was in the courtroom to listen in. The defense attorneys representing the San Diego County Jail doctor and nurse say the video that was shown in court proves that several people saw to it that Serna received medical care. Prosecutors say that medical care was too little, too late. Gene Iredell isn't involved in today's criminal case, but he is the attorney representing the Serna family in their civil trial.
She had a seizure, lapsed into unconsciousness, slumped against the side of the cell, and was dying. The nurse and the correctional officers whose sworn duty it was to protect her health, to preserve her life, turned their back on her. For more than an hour, no one then even stepped in.
In the courtroom, attorneys for the nurse and doctor say Serna was placed under observation before her death because her symptoms were inconsistent. The attorneys defending the doctor go on to say they wanted to make sure Serna wasn't faking her illness. Iredell says had the San Diego County Jail medical staff took action, Serna and other inmates might still be alive.
They remain human beings and they have the right to human treatment and decent medical care.
That doctor and nurse are facing involuntary manslaughter charges for their part in Serna's death. The attorneys we talked to today say this trial could take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
A long time. What's next in the court case?
The trial is going to pick back up right here Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Marcella?
Thanks, Kirsten.
Shaping up to be a good weekend to stay indoors and catch up with the streaming, maybe curl up with a good book.
Yeah, do some art projects. Abby Black talked about making Valentine's Day cards for our seniors. So
napping.
all the things inside. Our rain chances will go beyond the weekend. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis here now with the first look at your microclimate forecast.
I'm not even going to set an alarm when I get up.
That sounds perfect, actually.
Yeah. Oh man,
Go to bed
I gotta walk the dogs
patter.
though. This is true. Yeah, no, you're gonna get a lot of rain this weekend. So we are talking about this weekend all the way into the start of next week. It's a 4-day stretch when we have those rain chances elevated. Let's go ahead and set the clock in motion so you can see what's gonna be happening this weekend. So we got cloud cover right now. It's the calm before the storm. And now we have a storm system that's gonna be heading in our direction that brings in our rain chances that we're seeing more so for North County around 10:35 tomorrow morning, then becomes more widespread around 3:30. You're seeing even heavier rainfall that's starting to move in from downtown all the way to Escondido. You got plans on Saturday night? Bring an umbrella. You also got some heavy rain in the forecast. That's going to be about 9:50. You're seeing that stretch from Del Mar all the way down to Imperial Beach and just widespread across our county, even some more moderate rainfall across Fallbrook. Then it gets a little bit more caught up across the mountains into the overnight hours, looking at a few isolated showers for Del Mar as well as for Escondido. But wait, there's more. So we are still talking about rain in the forecast around 7:20 in the morning and even heavier as we get next week started. So we'll go ahead and can advance this clock even more coming up. Carlo.
Thanks, Carlene. Looking forward to that rain. An unprecedented strike is set to start Monday by faculty members at all 23 California State University campuses. That includes San Diego State and Cal State San Marcos. As CBS 8's David Goffredson reports, the week-long strike is set to disrupt the first full week of classes for students this term.
Let me assure you, as a new chancellor, 4 months into the job, I have no interest in a strike.
At a virtual news conference today, the Cal State University chancellor, who makes just under $1 million per year, spoke about fair wages for faculty.
Unquestionably, they deserve an increase. We are committed to compensating employees fairly.
As it stands now, Cal State University is at an impasse with the California Faculty Association, the union that represents professors who can make anywhere from $100,000 to $120,000 per year. Entry-level lecturers, however, make a lot less. Michelle Ramos-Policia is a professor at Cal State San Marcos.
We are demanding a better salary, a 12% salary increase, together with increasing the floor, lifting the floor for our worst paid lecturers.
The faculty strike is set to start Monday and end on Friday. It's up to individual professors whether to cancel their particular classes, so students might be left to decide whether they want to cross a picket line to get on campus. According to CSU, the universities will be open.
All campuses have contingency plans for this strike, and we've planned for a prolonged strike.
Earlier this month, CSU made a final offer of a 5% raise for faculty. An independent state fact finder recommended both sides compromise at a 7% raise. So far, no new negotiations are planned.
We don't make enough money to pay for rent. The rent in our region, in our state, are so high that many of our members don't make enough to cover for rent, for gas, for groceries.
Faculty are also pushing for longer parental leave and a cap on workload. CSU says the university simply can't afford the salary and benefits the union is pushing for.
If we were to agree to the increases that these unions are demanding, we would have to make severe cuts to programs. We would have to lay off employees.
Now, once again, this is a statewide strike affecting all campuses in the state. It begins Monday and goes for 5 days all next week. It includes San Diego State here and Cal State University San Marcos.
David, so what are students supposed to do if they're in limbo here and wondering if their classes are canceled? How do they figure that out?
Well, I can tell you my daughter is a student here at San Diego State, and she had to contact each one of her professors individually to find out if her classes were canceled. And by the way, all of her classes are canceled, and so she is a happy camper.
Gonna have to make up for that time, though. David Goffredson reporting for us. Go Aztecs. Thanks, David.
State Senator Toni Atkins announced today she is joining the race for California's next governor in 2026. Atkins, a longtime San Diego politician, made the announcement today at Balboa Park. She says her top priorities are protecting reproductive health care for women and fighting housing and crime, the lack of affordable housing. We have a list of other candidates in the running on our website, cbs8.com.
80 people from 28 countries officially became U.S. citizens in San Diego today.
Their naturalization ceremony was held this morning at the courthouse downtown. We were there while a U.S. judge administered the oath of allegiance and congratulated the new citizens. We talked with one woman that says her #1 priority as an American is to vote. Today in Vista, active duty Marines made repairs to a wounded warrior's home with newly learned trade skills.
CBS 8's Brian White tells us it comes as these Marines get ready to make the transition into civilian life.
Power drills, power saws, and good old-fashioned hammers. These active duty Marines are putting their new skills to work.
We're doing a railing for the front porch.
Kevin Hanratty is a logistics officer based at Camp Pendleton. He's been in the Marine Corps for 25 years.
This is a great immediate reward for what we're doing here. We know it's directly impacting someone that we care about, so it's awesome.
About a dozen Marines pitched in to make repairs and improvements here at the Wounded Warrior Home in Vista.
We always need work on the houses. Always.
Steve Roseberry is co-founder of Wounded Warrior Homes, a nonprofit with the mission of helping unhoused veterans get off the street. A new handrail on the stairs here will make life easier for the 5 veterans living here.
A lot of the veterans have their bodies are kind of beaten up somewhat, and they have a hard time getting up or being stable on their feet sometimes.
All the Marines working here today are soon to be retiring from the military. They've been learning new trade skills in a 12-week program with the Home Builders Institute, helping them pursue a new career path.
This gives them an opportunity to take the training that they've learned in the classroom and put it practically. It gives them hands-on training. They see a problem, they get to troubleshoot it, fix it. They get to see what they've actually learned and put it to use.
I've learned how to use some power tools, how to measure stuff correctly, cut it correctly.
Alejandra Alvarado has been a Marine for 4 years, and soon she'll be entering civilian life.
Your biggest fear is like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to live? How is life going to be after transitioning out? So being here and being able to build homes for these veterans that, you know, are homeless, they're one of us, so we're hoping our own.
In Vista, Brian White, CBS 8.
Thanks, Brian. Still ahead tonight, the city of San Diego's encampment ban and where it's driving people who are living on the city's streets.
Plus, if football isn't your thing on Super Bowl Sunday, there's always the Puppy Bowl. This year, there's a local connection.
And up next, was the economy really better during the Trump administration? Our Verify team fact checks the former president's campaign ad next.